Oh shit. Hold up. Yeah, we're recording. Hey folks, man. This is Monk, and we are back with another episode of Classes of Cinematics, and we're here to talk about the films that shaped and warped our childhoods, film going experiences. And I'm here as always with my homie. We got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo, yo, yo. And you said it right, because by this point in our lives, we are shaped and warped. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. And you can see by the shirt, man, it's giving you a clue what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about 1993's Jurassic Park. And this film came out on June 11th, 93, and it's June 12th. So it's kind of interesting.
Man, look at that.
But that's like, what's that, 39 years ago? I think, yeah, about, yeah.
Sounds about right. I mean, I don't want to break out my calculator.
No, 29 years ago. Yeah, so that's crazy, dude. But it was a groundbreaker for many reasons. The story goes as this. Paleontologists Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler and mathematician Ian Malcolm are among a select group chosen to tour an island theme park populated by dinosaurs created from prehistoric DNA. While the park's mastermind, billionaire John Hammond, assures everyone that the facility is safe, they find out otherwise when various ferocious predators break free and go on the hunt. And that's it, man. Pretty much you go into the zoo and the animals escape while you're there. And this is a very unique zoo, man. Very unique cast, man. So
very unique animals too.
Let's
dinosaurs, dog.
Yeah. Let's get through this cast real quick. So we got Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, B.D. Wong. Was he? No. See, this one is. No, they're doing that thing. They're doing that thing where they're combining movies with cast. So I know for sure Sam Jackson is in here.
Sam L was in it. Yes.
Richard Attenborough, Wayne Knight.
See Vinny D one in the first one.
Yeah. So I guess those the ones we could count for the first film. Those were the main, people in that. And I think there was one other guy that stood out. I think he was an executive for the company, but yeah, those are our mains. Put it simple and plain. But this film is crazy, man. It's monstrous. And it's groundbreaking on so many reasons, man. So we'll get into that in a bit. But what's the thing that stands out to you, man?
I can't talk about this film without talking about the special effects. I think, we'll get into all the other stuff, but for me, the special effects, they brought this level of like it's almost magical. I remember being a young man when I saw this film. I mean, in '93, I put a timestamp on my age. I ain't for y'all to know, but I was a young man, and I did see this in the theater. And dude, like the way they intertwined the practical effects with the CGs, neither one were like oversaturated. They were both tastefully done, but I mean, this was one of the first films I've ever seen where they brought dinosaurs to life. Up until this point, we never had a dino film like this. I mean, they were just, almost, we knew that they existed, but there were still there was a lot of figments of imagination. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know what they look like. They kind of put,
I mean, at this point too, speaking to the special effects realm, all we had at this point was stop motion. I mean, we knew what they looked like, but they also were like,
like almost like claymation, like watching Gumby or something.
You're looking at those old the creature from 20,000 Leagues and stuff like that.
Dude, that scene where they find the Triceratops and my man lays on the stomach and breathes with it and stuff. I mean, dude, the chill that I got in my body, I was just like, and it still holds up now. That's the thing. Like this was done, like I said, 29 years ago, damn near 30 years ago, and the graphics in this film, surpass and overdo a lot of these newer films that just are straight CG based. Because of the intertwining of the practical effects as well. They give us the best of both worlds.
I will encourage you to watch the movies that made us on Netflix. There's an episode on this particular movie, and it was wild because we almost got the old school format. And there was a guy that worked at worked at the company. I think maybe it might have been ILM, who went rogue and just did a 3D model test on his own. That one scene where the T-Rex is chasing him out on the open area and those smaller dinosaurs are running for him. So he did really quick rush 3D animation model of that looked like it blew them away, and they were like, all right, bet this gives us a new course to go. We're still going to keep some of the practical stuff, for the close-ups and things of that nature, but some of these bigger shots and stuff, we now have, we know it's possible.
We have a blueprint, and you know what? I salute that young man, because
and honestly, that propelled CGI to a crazy level. Like this is the start that gets us later on, that gets us Thanos and the end game and all the Avengers stuff and the good CGI, because there are, there's that uncanny valley where our eyes immediately pick up that things are real, but that's getting a little bit tougher to determine, as we get further along,
It's true. I mean, and there are scenes in this where we can tell it's it's green screen, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from the film. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, this is one of the first films that we were introduced to, and it was introduced to us in such a grand scale. I mean, it's not monsters or any. Dude, this is dinosaurs. This is dinosaurs like we never saw them before. You know what I mean?
And it's a testament too to the actors that we got involved. We listed out a lot of names, and a lot of those people, if they're not already living legends, they're going to be legends. But having to act like, I'm looking at the scene where they first see the brontosaurus. I think that's our first dinosaur we see, and it's just crazy their reaction to something that's not even there. Like that's crazy to have to. That's going back to our man Bob Hoskins on the Who Framed Roger Rabbit, dude. Like,
and then it was the little things, like we just saw, just the magical experience of seeing the dinosaur, but then they even take it a step further and have him eat some leaves off the tree, and you see the tree shaking. So the tree is real. So something, whether they used a crane or something like that, they just shake the tree up a little bit, and it makes it feel that much more real. I mean, there is a million reasons why this film is groundbreaking.
Yeah, and for me, it's also the expert direction of Spielberg, man. Because that's something that the sequels really don't have. I think maybe did he do Lost World? I think he did that one as well. But after that, I think he tapped out. But you see, like the blockbuster filmmaking in this guy. Like even the very beginning of this film, it has a Jaws-like opening where we don't see anything, but we know there's some type of danger.
Something.
And I'll just rewatch that where my man was holding on to the side of the door, like shoot, and then he lifts him up high, so he's still holding on to the side. Like it's almost reminded me of that orangutan video that's going around where he grabbed my man's leg.
Yeah,
he turns him sideways, and he's still full of
man.
But it's we don't know what that is, and for the whole it's a magical experience, man. Because like you said, like when we first see that first brontosaurus, we're in this park. They're getting a tour, and for some reason, all the dinosaurs are hiding right now. It's like when you go to the zoo sometimes, and the joint you want to see, they just hiding.
Every time I go, I never see the elephant in real life.
Yeah.
Why they always sleeping when I come? They got me on schedule and shit.
And then, man, we see that brontosaurus, and it's just like, whoa. Yes. It works. It's a moment that still works for me as a viewer. Yes. But the direction comes into play, too, with just the way these things are. We get that, boom. But we everybody wants to see the predators. Yeah. He talked about the Velociraptor before we get that speech, and then you got a T-Rex? And my man perks up. Don't tell me you got a T-Rex. Yeah. Like, oh my God. And
the story building and like the way they spoon feed us, but they keep us all the way engaged, and they just give us little sprinkles, like you said with the brontosaurus or with the triceratops. We know that the dinosaurs are there, but we also know we ain't seeing the ones that are going to wreak havoc yet, that are going to make this movie switch gears on us real fast.
Yeah, because that's the other subplot. With all that going on, we got the subplot of a disgruntled employee. He's a greedy son of a bitch.
He is scumbag.
Basically, he's trying to sneak out embryos to this rival company who's interested in creating their own park. And in doing that, he makes the chain of events that go. Basically, he's trying to disable some of the security measures temporarily so that he can get out. But he messes that up, and everything starts unlocking. As well as you got this storm bearing down, that's also throwing some of the systems out of whack, man. And that's it. Like my man, I love Goldblum's character in here. He's just philosopher, chaos theory. Like basically his idea is anything that can happen bad will, and it's inevitable, and he's kind of true. Like he's right.
Yet again, in a fantastic fantasy film. He is the voice of reason. We need that. We need that. But then he's also the one that when he does his little thing where he tells I think her name's Ellen, the female scientist, to hold her hand out, and he does the whole thing with the water. He's like, yeah, which way do you think it'll drip down? This, that. I mean, he's flirting with her right in front of her man, but he didn't know they were together. But all that to the side. Yeah, they was. They was, because then he asked him like straight up, and my man was like, "Oh, all right, cool." But he does all that with the water, and then that kind of it brings attention to what happens later on in the film when we see the water cups shaking. You know what I'm saying? It just the way that they
it's calling back. It's like those little cinematography things that like director things, like and that shows how good he is.
Yes,
Spielberg is.
It makes it like what they did with him, like doing the thing with the water, makes us pay attention to the water cups later on in the film that have a bigger role, because pretty much the T-Rex is coming. And like you said, not just the direction, but this is also a testament of the creative imagination of Michael Crichton, who wrote the book and gave us this story. Without him writing this book, this film never happens anyways. You know what I mean? So and just the way that it was translated and brought to us on screen, just amazing.
Yeah, because like going back to the effects, man, like we've got this computer animated stuff, but the scene where the guy's trying to break out, what's his name, man? Dang, this is one of those weird castings. Yeah, Dennis, the guy that's trying to do the
needy.
So it's using the CG when it has to, like in that scene, there's no CG. That dinosaur that spits on him, that's a full practical effect. It's a robot, it's a puppet, and it helps. And as well as when we get to that T-Rex scene, man, when the T-Rex pulls up and the truck's flipped over and he's sniffing the truck, like the wide shot, that's CG. But then when they're out, they made the whole full size animatronic T-Rex. So there's a couple scenes where it is actually something that's there, like when it's putting his head in the window, when it's sniffing around,
biting the tire.
Biting the tire. Like those are all like animatronic, builds. So it's not like the CG stuff is putting the other guys out of business. It's like they're coming together to create the best vision that they can, for this film.
And
man.
not for nothing, just listen to what you said. It sparked this other thought in my head. I like how this film, it focuses on, the more notable, well-known dinosaurs in the T-Rex, the Brontosaurus, but then it gave exposure to lesser known, lesser notable dinosaur figures. Up until this film, you never heard nobody talk about a velociraptor. This film, I
didn't know them as Utah Raptor. I'm just a nerdy animal dude, so
But this one brought that to light, or even with the spitting dinosaur. That one, like it kind of like when they expose us to that, we're watching him. He looks almost like a little puppy at first, making these little cute little reptile noises. You think he's harmless, and then you even see my man like kind of buck back at the dinosaur. He's like, man, once I get this Jeep out this damn ditch, I'm gonna run you over on my way out of here. And then you see them things flare up, and he spits on them and stuff. That was cool. Like up until I saw this film, I knew nothing about those dinosaurs. But after seeing this film, it made me want to look into.
You know if that thing spits, dude. That's kind of like a lot of liberties taken with our just assuming what they do and what they fully look like.
But that's the cool thing about dinosaurs. Cool. We don't know what they did. We wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I can't tell you if there really was or really wasn't dragons back in the day. We wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it's wild though. They're definitely playing what's known. They're definitely messing around with that, and it's cool, man. Just to see these things moving and breathing, and moving in a way that seems so realistic, man. Like I'm telling you, those scenes are really great. Like the scene where the T-Rex stomps out and like the weight, because my man Jeff is in the back. You guys hear that?
Yeah, see the water.
It's big shaking, like it's taking like my video right now. And you see the water. It's so well done.
Yes.
And like I said, the one scene too where the T-Rex is running out on a plane and all the other little ones are running to get away from it, and Dr. Allen and them, they're ducking behind a tree limb. Beautiful shots, man. Beautiful stuff to have in this movie.
And what I love about this film, like I said, I mean, we've gushed over so many things because it's gush worthy.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I love the build up, because that first hour, it gives us straight just build up, story, plot, premise, character interaction, and we get all of that. But then, man, soon when we get into the second phase of this film, we get everything that we were waiting for. Once we see that T-Rex, and I like the way that they gave us, they gave us full exposure. This is like a 10 to 15 minute scene when the T-Rex comes and he's knocking over the Jeep, and he eats my man off the toilet. The whole thing with when you see that flashlight and the eye comes in, and all of these things, and then you turn around and then you get the chase, dude. When they're dipping from the T-Rex on the
Jeep, that's crazy.
It's like sitting, he's like scooching all back and stuff. It's like, what? My man's like, get off the gear shift. He's like, man, fuck you sit back here, bro. He's about to eat me, man.
I like how because the Rex is right over his head, yo.
Dude, I mean, it's sniffing at him, dog. I mean, and these things, I mean, the way that this movie, like it's so fun, entertaining, but intent. It gives us everything that we need in an awesome action film. And the way that they like it also, it's like it exposes the fact that the T-Rex is the most prominent dinosaur, the most dangerous.
Crazy,
but
bro.
dude, the way they talk about these raptors though, and they give us this lore of how they're like pack hunters, and this whole, even the scene at the very beginning when the little kid is like, man, I don't care about them bones. You said that dinosaur was like a bird. Yeah. And he goes and tells them how like the velociraptor will attack them when he brings that little claw out. And he's like, man, they'll slice your stomach, and and then they attack you in a pack. He was like, but the thing is, they make sure that they hurt you, injure you, but they're gonna eat you while you're still alive. Like, man, that's pretty intense, man. That's pretty rough for a PG-rated film, dog.
I mean, it's keeping it real, dude. I mean, they definitely went out of their way to avoid the real grimy details.
Yes.
Because like even when the beginning, when they drop the goat in the pen, or they drop the cow in and then they pull it out, and you see the harness all broken up, and there's just like the tiniest speck of blood. It's like, this joint got ate, man. He got ripped apart. There's no way. It would be a lot more messy than that, man.
They definitely they didn't give us a lot of the gore that they could have, but it didn't need to be done. Like, they gave us enough with the visuals, and there was so much other things going on that the little bit that they did leave to the imagination, I mean, we can figure it out. Like when when the T-Rex ate my man off the toilet, we didn't need to see his legs flying off somewhere, innards and guts and gut. Yeah, we don't need to see all that. Like the damage was done. The T-Rex got his ass. Oh, here he goes.
Right there. Yeah.
And my man sitting on the toilet like he's straight dropping a deuce. Like, it's like, dude, in the midst of the chaos.
Been all right if he didn't move. He was got.
No, he ain't.
Did the slide roll?
Man, I did something. I got real G.I. Joe real quick, man. I did something, dog.
He wasn't even dropping the deuce.
He wasn't even that's the thing. He's sitting there. Yeah. He looked like you straight deucing, though.
He broke out while they're,
that's what I'm saying.
Distracted by
that. Man, that's another thing, too. This film exposes us that, your average everyday person might not have the wherewithal for escape tactics.
But like I said, I think it's a good point you made, the urgency, and I think it's amped up by also having that element of that storm in the background, because they also have a limited window to evacuate the island. The storm's coming, and they're also trying to get away to the evacuation point by navigating through these this park that has. The fences are down now. Things are out there. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, this is a great testament to the phrase: "When it rains, it pours."
Yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, it's dope, man. Like, it's a great film. I think it's a $1 billion franchise. But the other films, I don't think they're as solid as this one. But there's some entertainment to be had, especially with the first trilogy. At least with that
first two.
Yeah. Well,
I'm all right with the first two.
The third one too, man. It's not bad. It's just different. It's just not the same motivation as this, but it does involve the same characters that we've gotten accustomed to. With the other Dominion, I didn't hate them. I still have fun with them just because I like to see the dinosaurs and I like the carnage. And to me, it turns into a thing where I'm rooting for the bad guys, which is the dinosaurs now. I hope they eat as many people as possible. Yeah, especially. In that second Dominion, when they come through that park, dude, it was hilarious. When they was swooping up the tourists and popping them like that one woman that got passed off to like 50 pterodactyls. Bro. I was like, bro, she's probably just like end it now.
Right, yeah, don't do that to me. I got to think with heights, man. If they swoop me up, I'm already dead, dog. I had a heart attack soon. You lift my big butt off the ground, dog.
Yeah, but it's great, man. Because I did actually read a book on this one. I think I ended up reading a book. Maybe I don't know if it was after or before the movie. It might have been before, but the book is one of the ones. The book is just way better. I mean, there's just so much more information into it. And props to Michael Crichton for even coming into the idea of this. I mean, now we've got people really trying to do this, man. For what we know now, though, it's probably going to be impossible to bring dinosaurs back because you can't get most of that material is destroyed in fossils. Yeah. But there are people out there, they have found like mammoths and other type of mammals that were alive maybe thousands of years ago that possibly could be cloned and brought back or reproduced. So
but my question is
crazy.
Why?
I'm not even alive. If you can bring the woolly mammoth back to life, I would like to see that. I mean, where's the Monique the Monique gift? I would like to see it.
You go ahead, you see that woolly mammoth, and if shit hit the fan, just record it and everything. I don't know. Squish you?
I'm not getting that close. I just want to see.
What if they put you on the tour?
Show me the
They
picture.
put you on the tour, and then your Land Rover break down, and then the rain comes.
I probably won't be able to afford the tour, man. Like, what's funny when we watching this? Because you got the rich guy there, the guy that gets eaten in the toilet booth. And this whole time in the beginning, he's thinking about all the money they can make. So, oh my God. And then he's talking about the prices for the tickets.
He was like, nah, I'm going to make this for the
I want this affordable for the family.
They said, well, it's all right. We'll have coupon day.
Yeah, so I feel like I would probably still be common folk, and I probably wouldn't be afford to be able to see the mammoths up close. So I'm going to watch the mammoths on the documentary that they put out on Discovery Channel.
There you go.
After it opens up. And
I'm going to be the guy who's like, man, just tell me about it.
But dude,
I don't want to be nowhere near that shit.
So why? I'm like, why not? Let's do it. Like, it's a couple things that is gone that we could possibly bring back.
Man. I'll find my thrills in life elsewhere. It's me with the dinosaurs. Prehistoric.
Yo, think about it. If they found
I'm better off trying to go skydiving, man.
If they found a Bigfoot, bro, they had that joint in the zoo.
I don't want to see him either, man. What if he kirk off and break out?
He can't get out. He's not that strong.
What?
He shouldn't have been caught in the first
You ever
place.
seen those beef jerky commercials, bro?
Man, we keep gorillas locked down. So this Bigfoot ain't gonna be nothing, man. Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, nah, man, that's the nice one, dog. Hey, man, there's always a runt in the pack, dog. That was Harry. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to, I think it's not really much else I can say about this, man, except
you gotta see. I don't even know anyone in the world who hasn't seen Jurassic Park yet.
Yeah. They are running, watching this in the background now on HBO Max, so I think they've got most of the films on there if you want to check them out. And
they got the trilogy.
And I will say this too, man. There's a really dope series on they just premiered on Apple TV Plus, and it's called Prehistoric Planet. And basically, it's like a mockumentary. It's a nature wildlife film, but it's based on dinosaurs. So, and they did, man. If you want more Jurassic Park, watch that because they just took all the CG and all this stuff to recreate these dinosaurs, man, and it looks awesome, dude. And the crazy part about it, bringing it full circle, it's narrated by David Attenborough, who stars in this film as the park owner, man. Like, that was crazy that they could
hit that one out the park, man.
I don't know nothing about Attenborough, but he's great in this as the park owner and the guy. Like I was like, I don't know if he's got any other acting credits because all I know him really from is those documentaries. But he must have, man, because he's so convincing in this, man. He's
very convincing.
He's like your cool uncle that did something cool, but just didn't think of all the consequences or the problems.
Yeah, he's the one that give you the car keys before you got your license.
Yeah, but the
man drives me great. Go figure it out.
Essentially, this is the park's soft opening.
Yeah,
and imagine. This is the shit that goes bad in here. Like, it's crazy, man. It was crazy to me. This is like open up Six Flags and 5 rides derail and then kill like 100 people in the same.
But then people still waiting in line for the ride. That's the thing. Oh, man, they fell off the roller coaster. I'm going to.
Here's the thing about this shit, though. You could probably have one person die per day in this park, and he's be like, "Look, man, people would still go.
They would still go. They would still go.
I'll be one
because,
of them, yo.
because then it would be a thing that's trending. It's like, man, you could go here and you could die.
I would just go.
Then you might just also have a cool
I
story.
would
to
just
tell.
go with people that I know I can run faster than. That's all. Go see these dinosaurs.
Man, your trip game better be heavy. You know what I'm saying? He better know how to do that leg sweep.
we out here, bro. You ain't getting me. But I'm telling you, people would go. Man. This is crazy.
So you need a guy that the pterodactyl come and get.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's a cool idea.
Yes,
it's a cool film,
it is.
And the thing about it is, when this film came out, you immediately see the leap in what they were trying to do in the movies with the CGI and all of that, and going on into other films, man. And like '93 is a really landmarking moment. It just gave. I think by them putting this out, it just gave the proper ideas in place to inspire other people to try other and different things, man.
Yes,
you know?
because wasn't this around the same time frame as when we got T2 Judgment Day?
T2 was out before this. I think
it was like that was like '92, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, this is you're absolutely right. This is when they were changing the game in movie making as far as the special effects.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is like what we were getting out of computers back then is not the same as now.
T2 was 91, so I think some of the stuff that was going on in T2 definitely helped, make this film
absolutely.
Because Cameron always moves the bar a little bit, man. You know? Yeah.
Well, someone has to do it, man. You can't kick the door open before someone sticks their foot in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But definitely check this one out, man. It's classic, man. I love this film. It's one I don't watch it every year, but every now and then I'll put on and watch, certain parts of it. Or if I catch it on, I might linger for a little bit.
Or it's one that you can watch even in brackets. I don't have to watch this from the beginning. I'll watch the last 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. If I can catch it right before the T-Rex scene, I'm gonna sit down and watch that 15 minutes with a Colgate smile. This is definitely one. It's a very notable classic. It's groundbreaking film. Nothing but enjoyment, you know what I'm saying? So I don't, like I said, I don't know anyone who hasn't seen it. If you're one of those folks, then please do yourself a favor and go watch it. ASAP.
Yeah, it's great, dude. It's one of them. It's one of those classics, man. Classics of cinematics, man. But yeah, I think that's it, folks, man. We're gonna wrap this up, man. It's been Monk. Catch me at Monkey Blood on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, man. Classics of Cinematics, at Classics of Cinematics, man. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We got more coming. I don't know what's coming, but things are coming.
and just for this special episode, this is B-Rex. You can catch me at Dern.com. No, I'm just Bobby Blockbuster 118 on Instagram. Leave a comment, but I do want to say thank you to all the fans and followers, people that are watching, supporting the show. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. We do appreciate everything, and it's not going unnoticed. So thank y'all. Without y'all, there's no us.
Yeah, y'all giving us motivation to keep it going. But we out of here, folks. Peace.